Should you watch the Thai zombie action movie Operation Undead? Well, I'm here to answer that question for you, so keep watching. Operation Undead is a 2024 Thai zombie film about the Japanese army invading Thailand in World War II, where they form, well, a forced alliance essentially, and the Japanese have unwittingly or accidentally unleashed a bioweapon. We all know that Japan was experimenting with bioweapons during World War II, probably not this one. This bioweapon, there's actually two different bioweapons. They both seem to be zombie related. One of them are hyper aggressive zombies that seemingly can't be reasoned with, while the other types of zombies still contain and feature some humanity and the ability to self-control them, but they still have an aggressive streak. So what we have in this movie is a junior platoon who get caught up in a skirmish and eventually all get turned into the second kind of zombies. And their aim is to take revenge against the Japanese who have killed their family. Essentially, that's the story. It's a tough watch, I have to admit. It's almost 2 hours long. There are huge chunks where there's not a lot going on, and there's an overemphasis in this movie on really hating the Japanese, and of course, it's very clear that they are the bad guys. And that's the strange thing about this movie. Usually in zombie movies, the zombies are the bad guys, right? But in this movie, it's very clearly the Japanese soldier is the bad guys, or the Japanese general. You kind of have to cheer on the zombies, and that's the whole point of the movie. They want you to cheer on the zombies. Well, until you get to the end and a certain thing happens, but the whole point is cheering on the zombies, and it's quite a different take on the zombie genre. Usually, it's the swarm of zombies. You've got to try and stop them somehow. There usually is an alpha zombie somewhere that needs to be stopped, and ho-hum, that's the end of the film. This movie goes on a slightly different tangent, and by having zombies still having some sense of humanity in them. So they are still able to talk, and they do. They talk to each other. They're able to organize how they want to defeat their enemy. They're also able to reason with each other as well, and also talk to humans. So it's quite an interesting take on the zombie movie. It's just too long. At an hour 50 minutes, a film like this is just too long. And there's a good 25 minutes you could have probably trimmed out of this, that you would have got a nice trim 85 to 90 minute movie that would have been very exciting. It would have been far more action packed then, because you would have trimmed out some of the fat. There's a lot of backstory about how the zombies are created and what the Japanese are using them for, that probably could have been condensed into a much shorter time period. The other thing is, I'm looking at the cast, and I get this overwhelming sense that they are this Thai boy band. And I don't think they are, but there is just an excessively good-looking male cast in this movie, which I suppose is good, because that's trying to appeal to get a female audience in, because the male audience is clearly going to go for the zombies and the action. So how do you get the females in? Well, you give them a whole bunch of good-looking boys to look at, and that's what I feel like I've got with this film. I just don't buy that they're soldiers. just something's quite missing here for me to fully connect with this film. So overall, should you watch Operation Undead? In the end, that's obviously always your decision, but it's not a film that I would super recommend you go out and hunt down to watch. Using my patent pending ghost rating, which stands for great horror or stupid trash, this one only gets 2 ghosts. And then due to the fact that while the concept and the idea was great, the execution was far too long. Now, the film is super gory. So if gore appeals to you, especially, like, there's a scene where one zombie just rips out a soldier's ribcage. That's full on. So if that's the kind of gore that you really like, then this film does it. And it doesn't hold back with who it kills as well. So children's getting killed, entire innocent villagers getting killed in this film. It really tries to do the whole cartoon good guy, bad guy thing here. But it is super gory. So add an extra ghost to the score if you love gore. Otherwise, it's very clearly a two ghost film. I am the Artie Dans. You are watching Shockmania and the Artie Dans channels. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, leave a comment below with your view of this film. If you've seen it, let me know how you thought of it. Let me know if you thought I was wrong or right. If you agreed with some of my opinions, I'd be very keen to know. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time.